Welcome everybody to Komodo's Thursday Town Hall meeting. We're going to be talking about some various topics today for about 20 minutes or so, and then we're going to open it up for some community-wide discussion. So if you're here in the Discord, we'll get some nice community hangout time after all this. So the first thing that we're going to be covering is the Komodo news and updates. And that's going to be done by our head of content, Delton, who's been doing a wonderful job doing coverage of the live stream AtomicDEX stress test event since it ended. And then we've got an interview from CA333, and afterwards we have event feedback and results led by Audo, the CMO. And then we're going to have a questions answered segment where we've taken in questions from the community, and we'll be getting those questions answered and shared out here. And for the people that are here today from the Komodo team, we've got Audo, who is our CMO, we've got Delton, head of content, and we've got Poly Crypto Blog, who is one of our biz devs. Absolutely excellent team. I'm JC. I do operations with Komodo, and you probably know all of us from the AtomicDEX stress test event that we had on December 12th and 13th. And if you don't know us from that, you can go ahead and catch back up on all those events that happened on our YouTube. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to dive into what Komodo's been doing in the news, especially in response to the AtomicDEX stress test event. I'm going to hand that over to Delton. He's going to walk us through some of the different things that we've landed, where we've been, and what we're talking about.
Thanks, JC. So we have 3 new blog posts from this past week, as well as a lot of news around the AtomicDEX stress test. First of all, we have a blog post talking about the AtomicDEX disclaimer in terms of service. And if you watch the live stream event, you might have caught JC talking about this a lot. So with this blog post, it's actually part of the KMD treasure chest, which is a compromised wallet. So you can find all the seed words through my blog post and put them in the correct order, and you can earn yourself. I think it's like over $100 now in KMD and other coins from other projects that participated in the stress test. So for this blog post, all you need to do is put the disclaimer in terms of service in the correct order, and you'll have those seed words. So in this case, it's seed words 9 through 12. In the next blog post, I talk about the ledger data breach. So everyone kind of knows about that, that's been following the news. Like it's been a big deal. A lot of things going on with that. It's like an evolving situation. But it just like shows the importance of data security in today's blockchain space. So I give like some basic information about what you can do next, like we should be aware of. There's been like a lot of phishing attacks recently. So just watch out and be aware of this situation. And this is something we're going to be trying to do more of in the future. It's just like covering relevant events, like topics that people are interested in currently, like ongoing in the blockchain space. And this just happens to be one of them from this previous week. And next we have another blog post from the Blockchain Fundamentals content series. So this is a brief history of cryptology, cryptography, and cryptanalysis in practice. So basically it walks you all the way from the old kingdom of Egypt to the present day, like talking about how people have been trying to study encryption and decryption. In this blog post, you can find seed words 13 through 16 for the KMD treasure chest. And there's a lot of good information, a lot of educational content regarding like encryption and decryption, all kinds of different ways that it's like evolved over the years. And this is like one of my favorite ones right here, the Caesar cipher. But it goes all the way to post-quantum cryptography. So it kind of shows the evolution of encryption and decryption. And next we have a survey. So like I sent an email to everyone on the Komodo newsletter list asking what they want to see in 2021. We really want everyone's feedback. We want your input. We want to make more events like the AtomicDEX stress test. Going forward in 2021, we want to have more frequent events. Yeah, and we just really want your input, and we want more people to participate and find out more about AtomicDEX and Komodo. And now we're going to feature some of Komodo in the news. So recently we had like a lot of good media placements. Audo wrote a piece for NASDAQ actually about why crypto communities are important. And it really tells the story of not just Komodo, but like every crypto project, like what they can do to improve their community building and how they can expand, how they can work together towards common goals. It's a really good piece, so go check that out. And also we have a mention, a commentary from CA333 in Finance Magnet. So this piece is talking about the price of Bitcoin in 2021. There's a lot of different projects and companies in the space like talking about what their price predictions are. So we have people from BlockFi, Celsius, a lot of different people in the space, of course, including CA333. It's a really good piece. It's talking about the recent markets and like how it's correlating to inflation with fiat money printing. So go check that out. And next we have a video of CA333 from the Decrypt Daily podcast. And so he talks about the recent stress test and like everything that went on. So yeah, we can play that video now.
Kadan, how you doing? Good to see you again, brother.
Hey man, I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
Excellent, excellent. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on today. Crypto is just going crazy. And you know what? Everybody's making huge gains with their products. And you guys did an AtomicDEX stress test. First, tell me a little bit about what Komodo is first. Then tell me a little bit about what an AtomicDEX stress test is. And then please just go right into saying what was the results of this?
Sure, I will. I'd love to. So first of all, Komodo or Komodo platform, right? That's our project. We're like a blockchain technology provider. We develop and provide like a variety of different blockchain technologies and tools. One of these is AtomicDEX, right? The third generation non-custodial cross-chain atomic swap solution that we call AtomicDEX. And AtomicDEX been now in a 2-year public beta program. And we're kind of finalizing this beta program with this stress test. It's a second stress test. This basically was designed and arranged this event to sort of test out the limitations of AtomicDEX, of this DEX technology and the underlying core infrastructure, right? So what we did is we basically been onboarding new users for the last couple of weeks and months. We've been running like pre-signups, pre-registrations. We also involved a handful of third-party communities, right, such as VerisCoin, Qtum, Ravencoin communities, right, and a lot more. They've basically been also like part of this stress test. And in this event, we tried to get as many users to swap and basically execute as many trades as possible on this technology. And that's what this stress test was mainly about.
And so did you guys kill it or not kill it?
Well, we didn't manage to kill it in the sense to basically get it down, right? So the software kind of killed us, right? It's a killer software if you want to put it like that, but it's standard, right? It withstanded the entire load. I mean, we've seen, just like to give you a few numbers, we've seen like on the peak trading time, on the peaks phases of this stress test event, we've seen an average processor load, the CPU load of like 4% on an already very limited infrastructure. So it was literally like basically nothing, right? We've seen like over 200,000 unique swaps during this event. We've seen like over 2,500 active users on the mobile applications, not including the desktop count, right? These are just like a few pre-evaluation we've run over the last couple of days, and we're still analyzing and basically doing our aftermath and everything. And we expect to have like a more complete metrics and statistics by the end of this week. But for now, our conclusion is it's like great. We just like received basically this technological validation concerning the robustness and stability of the DEX core. So it was great, an overall success for us.
So really quick, just if I can summarize this, is you guys put the DEX through the ringer with the atomic swaps through the ringer, and you just flooded it with all kinds of swaps, all kinds of like trading, just, to figure out if it can perform when it comes crunch time. When you guys say, this is it, we're going to turn it on, can it handle everybody doing their business? Is that correct?
Correct.
Awesome. And you guys succeeded. So when you turn it on, what do you expect? What kind of volume do you expect going through the AtomicDEX?
I mean, to give you like the volume metrics, as an indicator. So we've seen like on the Uniswap protocol, like a 7-day count of, I believe it was like 1 million transactions, right?
Wow.
And if you want to compare it like now to our platform, we've hit like 200K unique transactions, right? These trades within like the 2-day count during these events, and that were just like a few hours during these events, right? So we could easily match the trading volumes and transaction metrics of other platforms that have a much higher volume when it comes like to the financial evaluation, right? And throughput on their DEX bandwidth. But what we also like have to add is basically every user, this is like one objective of the AtomicDEX protocol, every user that joins the network is gonna slightly increase the DEX network bandwidth. So the user's actually scaling the network up, right? So you don't run into these bottleneck problems. Like we had these issues in the beginning during our first stress test. We faced bottlenecks. We clocked the network down, and what we've done is we've been improving this now for 1-2 years, just like nonstop, really like enhancing it and fixing these issues and basically redesigning a big chunks of the DEX architecture in order to get there.
That's the beauty of decentralization, my friend. Kadan Stadelman, CTO Komodo, thank you very much for coming on, and good luck with launching the OG version, bringing it out to the masses, and congratulations on a successful stress test.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
All right, there you have it. So thank you, Delton, for that segment, and that was indeed a clip from the Decyrpt Daily podcast. So be sure to check out Matthew's podcast. And now we are gonna move to the next segment, which is covered by me. So I'm gonna be talking about the stress test survey that we made. So right after the stress test weekend, everyone who had registered, we showed you a link to the survey asking for feedback about how did we do, how could we improve. And now we have the results. So I'll be going them through today. It took me like 2 to 3 hours to go through everything. Like that, there was so much feedback, and we're really glad that everyone said, like you guys said your thoughts, and overall, like I would say it was like 90% positive and very helpful feedback there also, like how can we improve, and we will be going that all through in the coming weeks and months in more detail as we are preparing for the next event. So thanks again for all the answers, and I'm gonna be showing the results of the 4 questions now. All right, there is the first question. So the first question we ask is to understand how was the participation split between the different events. So we had 6 events in total spread across the 2-day weekend. And it was pretty equal according to these results. And we had like 240 answers. So we had a very good turnout for this survey. And it looks like all the events were like equally represented. Then our next question was about just rating in general, like how successful we were in organizing this event and this weekend. And we got really good results. The average rating of 4.4 points out of 5. And we did indeed, like we noticed that we received a lot of good feedback, and we are really happy within the community about how this all turned out to be. Like just it was a success in terms of technical, so in terms of just the stress test itself and getting the metrics and the data we needed, that the dev team has been very busy still analyzing, and we are going to be sharing the final results and conclusions within the next day and next week. Then the question 3 was about the format itself. So what we decided to do, and this was an idea from JC though, so all credit JC to coming up with the idea that let's organize many mini events and spread them across the weekend. And by doing this, then we maximize the chance that you can join at least 1 or 2 of them out of the 6, and then we don't exclude anyone. So no matter where you're from and which time zone you are on, then you can join and tune in to at least few of the events. But we were curious, like we were kind of discussing if we should have a 2-day conference or a 3-day conference or so forth. So we want to include a question just about that. And with this result, it seemed like the majority were pretty happy with the 2-day event over having like 1 day 6-hour or 8-hour conference type of thing that would be like more traditional. So clearly we made the right call here to have it over 2 days. Then the final statistic I have to here show is the question 4, and this is then where we kind of wanted to dig a little deeper and should have been 3 days instead of 2 days. And half of the people, 52%, said that it was the right call to have it 2 days, not 3 days. But still, this is quite even. Like 36% said that actually the 2 days was the, or not, that they would have preferred the 3-day campaign instead of the 2 days. So I think it's going to be a close call for the next big event we do, like whatever it's going to be 2 or 3 days. And I think even if you have more demand for people to speak and from projects to join, then I think it's definitely going to be 3 days, but that's still something to consider, and these answers help us to make that call or understand like what do people want and how do we improve. So then like I said, I spent a lot of time today just going over the questions. I'm going to be sharing them with the team over the coming days and week. And there was a lot of good feedback, a lot of thank yous and praise. So I'm really happy about that. There were a lot of helpful comments, and I'm just kind of like I didn't have time to write down all the conclusions, so I don't have it there in front of me. But kind of the ways to improve that we found based on this feedback, the event-wise, was that some people seemed to be a bit confused about how the bounty campaign was structured and what needed to be done, and that if they needed to register multiple times or just once. So I think going to the next one, we need to prepare better instructions maybe written instructions and maybe a video and so forth, so everyone is crystal clear how the bounty structure works. Another feedback we got, it was they weren't sure when the events were happening, and this is of course a challenge working with different time zones, and we try to have links prepared and calendar links also, but I think those maybe weren't advertised as good as we would hope, so not everyone had access to those. So for some people it was kind of uncertain, or they weren't sure when it's happening, and on top of that we had some issues with the countdown on the actual web campaign page, which caused some confusion. And so that's all we kind of polish for the next event. And then there was several other points which I just cannot recall right now, but all the feedback that you guys gave will be taken into account, and we will be looking to organize another event next year, or actually several of them. We're kind of mapping them down right now and planning the next year. So definitely we are going to keep going with online events and live streams, and looking to make these more like higher quality as well in production wise and content wise, and just keep improving. I think for the first event we made, this was a pretty big success, and we are, like I said already, extremely happy. So then this brings me to the last segment, that is to announce the winners of this survey. And here you can see the 6 winners. Is it 6? No, 5, sorry. And so this is what we announced on the first Tuesday town hall after the test campaign, and another survey that we shared via email to everyone. So if you answered to the survey, then you had a chance to win the bounty. And I believe it was 30 KMD per winner. And what we did was we went over the survey results. We picked the top, like the highest quality answers, and there were many of them. So basically I just had to make a list of them, and then we used a random number generator to pick random 5 winners that are shown on the screen. So you might, if you are among the winners, you might identify your email there, but even if you don't, or like there's nothing to do for the winners, so we'll be sending them an email and then the KMD bounty. So for the winners, there's nothing they need to do. So just congratulations to all the winners. And I will be turning it back to JC, or MC here, as we are going to the next segment.
Thanks for all the killer information, Auto. That was absolutely great. The stress test turned out to be a huge success on marketing side, on dev side, for Komodo as a whole, for a lot of the interop projects that came through. We're still getting and pouring through all that information that came through that stress test, and we're looking forward to making that master post release with all the details about it. So the next thing that we have on our agenda is that we're going to be going through different questions that people have to our Discord. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand this off to Audo, who's going to read us through the questions that have been asked in our Discord that have been brought to get some interesting information from the team. And then we've got Delton, Audo himself, myself, and Polycryptoblog, our one of our biz devs, which we're going to work through these questions and give the best answers that we can at this time. Some of which we can answer directly, some of which the answers are going to be coming in 2021. So go ahead, Audo.
Thanks, Stacy. So I did again, like the format is that you guys submit questions to the Tuesday Town Hall channel on our Discord throughout the week, and then we answer them live on air. So all these questions that we go over in this stream were pre-submitted over the past few days. We have, I believe, 7 in total, and the first one is from Mike, India, and he's asking, about Nimiq NIM coin, our project, and whatever that could be possible to list on AtomicDEX. And I'm not sure if we have exact answer, or Polly, do you know about this coin and the technical challenges that there might be to integrating?
I'm aware of the coin Nimiq. They're actually working on some unique technology regarding atomic swaps and bank accounts. So yeah, there shouldn't be any roadblocks in getting them added in. Um, they just have to essentially submit the pull request with the required info to be able to be added to our AtomicDEX desktop. However, considering that they're already working on similar technology, I would imagine they have all the technical requirements in their chain already. So, yeah, there really isn't any holdup. They just have to, submit the request in our GitHub.
Great. So that then answers it, and let's jump to the next question. The next question is from Igor, and he's asking about Pirate or ARRR and whatever that could be integrated or added to AtomicDEX. And then the second question from him is about SegWit support in AtomicDEX. Polly, are you able to explain the challenges with adding Pirate in AtomicDEX, and what can we say about this?
Sure. So the issue with adding Pirate to AtomicDEX is, well, there's a couple issues. So Pirate is 100% private chain. So whenever two trades get matched, they have to match the UTXOs. But if you can't see the UTXOs, then, it's like, how do you match them, right? Now, we have discussed some, possibly using something like viewing keys to reveal that information to the counterparty. And that may be possible. A demonstration would have to be, built for that, and a lot of testing. And there would be the negative side that it kind of leaks privacy at that point. So that's the real biggest issue with AtomicDEX and Pirate, is that to maintain Pirate's level of privacy, it'd be very difficult to utilize it in AtomicDEX. Now, the Pirate community, I know, is considering some other options to enable trading of Pirate as a proxy. So that could be something good in the interim, like having a trading version and the real version for when you really need privacy. So that might be a workaround. That'd be a lot more likely to be up and running before AtomicDEX natively swaps Pirate. And as for SegWit support, I know there's some issues, developer issues regarding SegWit and the Komodo chain. So we'll have to revisit that and to make a determination if it makes sense to add it. Basically, from my understanding, is that it kind of it adds a bunch of unneeded complexity, and also some things that are using accounting tricks essentially um, to hide actual block size, and among other things. And some of the things that it claims to fix, like transaction malleability, could have been fixed, easier in other ways, um, as we know. So, yeah, it is a topic that we have looked at, because SegWit support would enable you know, faster atomic swaps, less transactions between the pairs. I understand that in the Monero atomic swap implementation, that they have found a way to do the swaps in less transactions. So we're at 5, I believe it is, and I believe they can get it down to like 2 or 3. So, but that requires SegWit support on both chains that are transacting. So it's not just like a default lowering of amount of transactions needed. It's based on the chains that are actually trading. So, we're looking into it, but there is no hard determination on it yet because there is some credible technical concerns regarding SegWit.
Perfect. And thanks for the very detailed answer. We have a next question. Warren Black Carp. He's asking that what about the next Notary season? Like, what is going to look like? Is it going to be similar as the previously, or should we be expecting some changes? Does someone here have the latest info for this one?
Yeah, so next Notary season will look like the previous ones. There may be some minor changes. However, most likely this will be the last normal Notary season. We're looking at implementing an upgrade to DPAL, just called DPAL 2.0, and changing how the Notary node structure works. There's the system works, but definitely could be a lot better. For the past several years, we have been taking note of some issues and optimizations that could be made, and are planning on releasing something hopefully the following year. So I suspect this upcoming Notary node election will be the last of for the normal, what we're used to in Notary node elections.
Yeah, indeed. Like there's some DPO 2.0 coming and some changes that come with it that enhances the entire network and the technology. So I think that's something we'll be covering next year as and announcing, so everyone can read about it, that what kind of improvements there are in the pipeline. All right, but let's move to the next question. This one is from Giuliano. He's asking about that are we planning to burn KMD out of the AtomicDEX fees we collect, and then if so, why?
Yeah, this is one of those that we'll have more information coming out about this in 2021. I think the things that we can talk about is that we are exploring new use case scenarios for KMD, and this is likely one of the ones that's been thrown around in our Discord channels and that we're getting some analysis over to see like what's possible, what's not, what's implementable, and what's not, especially like when we start to talk about things from like a legal framework inside, and like what like considerations we have to take into place to keep everything safe. It's definitely something I've got my eye on, and I'm interested in continuing to pursue. So the real takeaway answer here is it's definitely an option on the docket.
Yeah, and the idea there is that we would like that there's some other coins that use similar methods so it kind of decreases the supply and creates some demand for the coin, and it's better to do that way because there's no legal issues as opposed to directly distributing that coin to some group of people. So that's why it's an option that is being taken a look at. So all right, let's go to the next one. This was this one Satinder, and he's asking about meetup plans. As we have had numerous Komodo meetups in the previous years. Like it's been a kind of a tradition that we have at least one every year. but then this COVID stuff happened, and we were planning on one, but we just had to cancel it because there were like flights being cancelled and everything is so uncertain. And I just to like answer this, and it's still the same situation. So it's very hard to organize some meetup if the flights are cancelled and if there's travel restrictions in place. So I think we are just gonna have to wait, and hopefully there's a chance next year to do something like this. And if there is, then I'm sure we will be organizing something. Does anyone here have anything other to add? Or are we good to move to the next question?
Yeah, I can add a little bit. I also giving a shout out to last question was by Giuliano, who was the major MC that stepped up for us during the AtomicDEX stress test on December 12th and 13th. And he and a few other community members or people were going to be roping in to help do some more MC work for future events that we have planned, which leads into Gruel Satinder's question, which another shout out to Gruel for basically being around to always be answering questions about Komodo for in our internal team. I know he's a great person to hit on our Discord if you have questions about the history of AtomicDEX. And I believe that he did a segment at event 6 on AtomicDEX stress test weekend. With the question of, are there any thoughts on meetings in person? I think Audo covered that really well, but plans for hosting future meetups, I think we've pivoted to do this event-based meetups, like we saw the stress test turning into a conferencing event. And we'll be doing 4 of those per year is the current goal, with 2 major ones, one in the middle of the year, one at the end of the year, and 2 kind of intentional topic like conferencing cover events happening on the other, like at the end of Q1 and at the end of Q3. And we are also looking into starting to run some community meetup events. So there's the Thursday town hall right now, which anybody can come here and get involved in. When we get done answering the next question, I believe we'll have answered the questions that came in and be done. And then we'll have a community hangout time where people can come and chat, and we can just be friendly. Besides the Thursday Town Hall Hangout, we are currently exploring different ways that we can put on some smaller events. I know one of the ones that I'm really looking forward to is running a event with one of our sister projects, Chips, who is making this decentralized poker app and starting up a poker night once a month that we can like kind of have this like little community gathering, and people can talk about like what they're doing in blockchain and what they're interested in. We've got Audo's running an internship during 2021, and that's going to be an event that people can come and participate in. And then we're going to be looking into running specific swap events during coin listings, and basically getting to do anything with the AtomicDEX that a traditional, old school, stuffy, orthodox exchange might do, except ours is going to be distributed and non-centralized. So it's basically going to be cooler, of course. So those are giving body to the idea of what does future meetups look like and what are we after. And then of course, as soon as the world clears up a little bit, or we feel that we can responsibly lead some community-wide events in person, we're going to be acting on that as soon as possible. And we're already building up plans to do that, specifically with the idea of developer program in mind, the junior dev program that we talked about. We're going to trying to give talks at universities, giving seminars on blockchain, just using Komodo Tech as an example of how to get involved in blockchain. So those are some various ideas that we've got pushed out for 2021 that we're looking at.
Yes, indeed, more online events in plans, and of course, like we have this ongoing Thursday hangout, which is this live stream. Like this is every Thursday, and right after this stream, please hop on to our Discord channel and join the voice call, and that's where the actual hangout will take place after this stream is over. And but now let's move to the next question. So we have 2 more questions left, and the next one is from Tom. Tom is asking about creating a K-USD or something else that is pegged to something that is powered by the Komodo technology. So is this possible? Is there plans? Do we have someone who would tell us something about this, or what do we know? I don't know, Polly, do you have some info or something you want to share here?
Yeah. So what approxified coins on the Komodo chain, or basically optimized chains that could be gatewayed into it's something we actually were thinking about a long time back. However, as many people might know, the recent regulations regarding this type of behavior are very, um, you know, not favorable to the crypto community. So we probably won't be doing it ourselves. Most likely won't be doing it ourselves. However, there are other entities that are, um, you know, uh, interested in utilizing Komodo tech for that purpose. So that is, so like, even though that we won't be doing it, I can almost guarantee that it will be making an appearance in some form. These proxified versions of other coins.
Great, thanks for the answer. That's an excellent answer. So then I think we can move to the last question. So this is one from Rinox, and he's asking about what we are excited about the next year, and then about Q1 and what do we hope to achieve, especially with the upcoming future stress test. Yeah. All right, go ahead, Jesse.
I definitely got to answer a little bit of it earlier, talking about the events that we have coming up, getting to do some swap competitions when a coin gets listed on the AtomicDEX, basically meaning when a protocol gets integrated. So to me, like that's like the exciting events that are coming up, because we've got the 4 major ones, and then we'll be able to have like POCed events all throughout it. And Audo starting up and leading this community initiative with his another internship idea, which if anybody isn't aware, Audo's internship that he ran at the end of 2020 during Q3 was so good that it dragged me away from the work that I was doing in another sector to be there 1 hour a day until I eventually one of my contracts over in the other sector and joined this team. So that's how I ended up getting involved here in Komodo and doing work here. I was literally dragged in by Audo, and haven't gotten sleep since, and I absolutely love it. So thank you for that, Audo. And
you're welcome.
So we've got the possible stress tests in Q1. We do have the major event that's being planned. It's going to land probably at the end of Q1. That's basically what it's looking like right now, and it's going to be what I've got dubbed in my notes as an intentional event. So it won't be as massive of a conferencing event as like the 2 or 3 day event, but we will be running this kind of like module system so that we can plug into different regions and picking a very specific topic and then tethering it to the AtomicDEX, either working it as like through a stress test or through like an interop swap competition, and bringing in various projects again to do some conferencing and get like this kind of communication out of it. Those are the things I'm probably the most excited for from like an operations perspective. There is partnerships that are coming up to be announced that are also very exciting. There is the exploration of updating the protocol layer, like to make it basically more future-proofed. that the dev team is working on, which I'm very excited about. Auto's path clearing initiative to be able to make it possible for anybody to come and build on tech. The world clearing out for pandemic reasons, and us finally getting to like step into universities and talk to people about blockchain technology and push education initiatives, which is something that PTYX, one of our biz dev members, is extremely positive on. We've got a languages initiative where we're going to be working not just in English, but also in multiple languages for our press releases. So just these are various things that are going to be tagged. I definitely want to hand the mic to Audo, Delton, and Polly to get some vocals on this too for what they're excited about.
Yeah, for me, I think it's about that like we have been just thinking a lot, and I think this is also what P2I was sharing in the live stream of the few weeks ago, like how Business Steve has been thinking of overall goals and strategy as well, and this goes to the marketing team as well, and we have been busy kind of doing a lot of groundwork during the past let's say 4 months or 3 months, and now in January we're looking to launch the new Corner platform website, and we are kind of planning everything else surrounding that, and how we're gonna keep improving it, and how we're gonna tell the story of Komodo, and then also like we have been focusing on making some slight improvements to the brand design wise. So there's going to be upgrade on the color scheme. The logo of course stays, like we are not making any major changes, but there's some small ones, and just over the past 2 days I was going them through, or we were going them through as a team with our designer Bob, and we are really pleased that the work he has been doing, and then as we launch the new website, then that all will be made available. So I think I'm really looking forward to that point, because to me that kind of marks the points when we are more or less finished with the groundwork that we began working on a few months ago, and then it just leaves us more resources and time to spend on actual marketing and campaigns, and just doing our job basically. And then yeah, to be in this state of continuous, I guess, improvement, and then we have the events coming up, like Jesse was saying, and then we already planned at the end of June would be another big event, to a 3-day conference type of thing, like online conference by Komodo. Of course, at this point we don't know any details. It's all kind of up in the air. We are brainstorming, and we are looking to more and more include the community, and we're gonna continue to hear from everyone and plan and work together. So I would say that's pretty much at this point what I'm looking forward to.
Nice. What about you, Polly? What's some of the things that you're looking forward to from either from BizDev side or just personally about Komodo?
Well, with 2021, pushing forward with all the different partnerships we have lined up, been working on some for quite some time. A lot of work in the background, not really discussed. So it would be good to finally get that out. I think that AtomicDEX. 2021 will be the last, if you will, beta year. I mean, still technically probably be beta for a while, but I think 2021 adding, the auxiliary features that should be found in a wallet and an exchange will really start pushing us over the edge, in terms of competition, so that we can, start getting the recognition that we deserve. Um, we have some ideas regarding the DEX fees, the how the system rewards users, and other things regarding AtomicDEX, in the sense of why would people choose to use AtomicDEX over another exchange, that we're refining, that I believe will make us really on a competitive level of some of the largest exchanges in the world. How it was explained to me um, by a third party, and it's kind of funny. And I'm the one in Komodo all the time, and it was explained to me even. Their insight was valuable, but it went like this: is that AtomicDEX essentially makes all blockchains instantly accessible to an exchange, because the UTXO ones are easy to point out, because as long as you have the key, you can just load it in and start trading. That functionality is not found anywhere else. Like, every other exchange out there requires you to move your coins into it, whether it's into a smart contract or into some third-party custody like Coinbase or Binance or whatever. Um, that really is a very unique point, to AtomicDEX. So, the total amount of possible liquidity is really the amount of coins that are available to trade by all the ones that are capable of doing so, which is very different than, say, like Binance, which their total amount of liquidity is what's in their deposits, or same with other types of exchanges. So I'm pretty excited to see that people are starting to catch on about AtomicDEX, and I think a lot more people, like person who gave me that insight, was they'll start having their own, and it will start catching on like a virus. It'll still take some time. Like I said, we still got a bunch of auxiliary features and stuff to add to really push it, to make it industry, top of class in our industry. But I believe we'll get there. And 2021 basically just, it'll be a lot of work still. So I guess that's one of the negative things. I mean, it's not really too negative, but it's just we already know, like, 2021 in terms of the business side, at least, is like totally booked up already. Like, we already have our work lined out for a year and possibly even more. It's exciting, but it's also like, ooh, it's like exciting like a mountain. Like, you finally will hike through the forest and get to the base of the mountain. Now you gotta climb the thing. So it's that's basically my feelings about 2021, where we're going, and all that. So I'll pass it off to somebody else now.
Thanks. That was awesome. I do love the, like, what's excited for 2021 questions, because it gives us a chance to talk about that, give voice to it. Delton, who is our head of content, this is a question I want to be sure to get some handoff to him there too. So Delton, what are you personally, and like from your role and position here, excited for concerning 2021?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to like each new release of AtomicDEX, like just covering all the new features. Seems like with each new release, like there's so many things to talk about and cover. I'm just excited like more expansion to new protocols, and just like there's always so much in each new release. I'm also looking forward to more like cross community collaboration. Like, I know that's a big thing that happened in this last AtomicDEX stress test. So that was really fun, like seeing so many different communities come together and participate and trade on AtomicDEX. And it's always good to cover what Komodo is working on, but also like other projects in the space as well, and like where we have commonalities. So that's something I'm interested in exploring more. yeah, I'm really interested in covering more topics related to the blockchain industry and expressing Komodo's voice, kind of what our opinions or thoughts are, and yeah, just covering like more general news as well. It's always changing industry, right? So yeah, I'm interested in covering it.
Right. I
That's
think
pretty much it.
nice. Right. I think one of the things that I've heard you talk about is that you're getting interested in like the articles that you've been sharing recently. Like you did a little bit of coverage on the Ledger attack to help members of Komodo understand like what they could do next, like if they were in that situation. And I think you did some follow up on like the Ripple situation, how it's getting like delisted from exchanges, and like how that's like, you can't get delisted from a protocol, and
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
from an open source protocol, and that you're excited to get to be doing more of that. And I think I even heard you talking about that you're going to start nosing around for a copywriter to be able to pair with to do some SEO articles, like while you're pursuing more of this, like uh, our earned media situation, and like building like these other wraps and reports, because your workload is like going to be just getting heavier and heavier, and or like seeking like constant freelance partners and stuff like that. Is that all kind of right too?
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, we're looking for a copywriter to kind of help with all the different areas we need to cover. Definitely, there's going to be a lot of new like product releases. There's going to be yeah, a lot of SEO blog posts covering different topics. So yeah, we're looking for someone to kind of help me with that.
Nice. Yeah. So building a little bit of our writing team here in Presence. That's pretty cool. All right,
Right.
Auto,
Yeah.
I'll hand it. Yeah. I'll go ahead and hand it back to you, because I think that covers the team members here. And thanks for leading a town hall meeting. It was a bigger one.
Yeah, indeed. So thanks everyone for joining. So that kind of wrap up the question segment. So we didn't have time to, like, there might have been some question on the chat, but we didn't have time to go on to them. So we're gonna answer questions again next week, every Thursday. So just leave the questions to the chat. And yeah, we are gonna about to drop the stream here, and on every Tuesday town hall, just join the discussion and the hangout on our Discord server. So we have the voice channel set up, so you can just join and hang out with us, hang out with of course, be active in the chat and so forth. But before I do, I wanna just give if anyone has any final shout outs before we end the stream. And does anyone have anything?
Yeah, be sure to come by next Thursday, where we'll be doing a little bit of a live stream, or just like a community hangout for celebrating in the new year. I think that CA is even going to be stopping by. So it's like the space. It's you can come here and hang out. It's in the event that you aren't able to like go out and do some other things, or if you just generally want to hang out here with us and celebrate ringing in the new year, which we're pretty excited about for Komodo.
Yeah, there was this rumor going around that CA might join the next one. So let's see. Like, be sure to come and watch the stream again. So next Tuesday, every Thursday, 4 p.m. UTC. You can always find the links from our Discord, and also just going to our YouTube channel, and be sure to subscribe and join our Discord where all the action is. So I guess that's it. So I wish everyone happy holiday, Christmas and New Year and so forth. Gonna look forward to talking to everyone again on our Discord and on the next town hall meetings. Bye.
See ya.